In signing off an email, I almost always finish with thanks, even if I add some other friendly closing. What are you saying thanks for? If nothing else, you're thanking them for reading the email. People will sometimes finish an email instead with cheers, which is really a more casual way of saying thanks. Be aware though that this is a casual usage and not something you would use if any degree of formality is called for. In a business email, simply ending with thanks is usually sufficient. But there are some other phrases that are commonly used. Yours sincerely is relatively formal. Kind regards is friendly and polite. Warm regards, friendly and polite, but a tiny bit gushy for mine. All the best is a little more relaxed, but still friendly and polite. Something that I often see in emails from my Chinese colleagues is a last line saying, I look forward to your reply, or looking forward to your reply. It's not a big problem, but be aware this is a little bit demanding. In effect, you are telling the person, reply to this email. A very standard and polite way to conclude a business email is to include a line that says, please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any further queries. This can be included even if you know there is nothing more to discuss with the person. Remember, in an earlier lesson, we saw this email that I received.
Hi Peter, our Sydney plant manager Mario Milani forwarded your email request to me. Having reviewed your request and based on our foreseeable forecast commitments, we are not in a position to take on additional work. I appreciate you considering Magna Foods for this project. Should you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Kind regards, Janet Jones, Marketing Manager.
Now, they know, and I know, that this is the last communication. We will not be having any further interactions. Nevertheless, closing with, should you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me, is a standard, courteous way to close the email. In the second lesson in this series, we touched on the strategy of including a personalised message in a business email. For example, there's someone at another company that I communicate with by email on a weekly basis. Our emails are mostly pretty simple, transactional communications. When is the shipment coming? What are your stock levels? That type of thing. Over the years, we've only met face-to-face on maybe 2 or 3 occasions. But in conversation, he happened to reveal that he followed Liverpool in the English Premier League. Now, maybe a couple of times a year, when I notice that Liverpool have won something or lost something, I'll say something about it at the end of the email, just a one-line mention, something like this, after the business part of the email. By the way, congratulations, more silverware, or commiserations, penalty shootouts suck. So, actually very idiomatic and conversational, and very much a small afterthought at the end of the business talk. Don't overdo it, and don't let it distract from the business talk. But used sparingly, it enhances the relationship. And I know that when we occasionally have a problem or I have to ask for a favour, I can rely on the fact that we have kind of a friendship. It's important always to sign off your emails with your name. Perhaps this seems obvious, but you might be in a situation where you are the person responsible for answering emails sent, for example, to an info@ email address, or perhaps accounts@ company name. In this case, people will, of course, have sent an initial email without naming you because they don't know who will be reading their email. When you respond to this email, however, unless it is the policy of your company for you to remain anonymous, it's best if you can sign off with your name. It means that if there's a follow-up email from the person, they will know the name of the person they are dealing with. From the point of view of the company, I would suggest it makes for much better public relations than sending an anonymous reply and requiring your correspondent to deal with a faceless entity. Finally, your email app will allow you to create an automatic signature for your emails. I strongly suggest that you use this. For one thing, if you don't set a signature, your email is likely to create its own, sent from my iPhone or something equally useless. At the very least, your automatic signature should include your name and your job title. You might also choose to include a postal address, a physical address, and a phone number. To sum up, here's a standard, well-written business email that contains many of the elements we've looked at during the course. Hi Bob, good to chat to you on the phone this morning. As discussed, I'm sending you the script for St George's High. Could I ask you to have a look at it for me, please, and suggest any improvements you think are necessary? Would you mind also passing it on to Felix to see if he has any thoughts on it? Attached, script. Thanks. All the best, John. John Jacobson, Associate Producer, Envision AV. P.S. Enjoy the rock climbing this weekend. Don't forget your helmet. Hi is almost always an appropriate way to start an email with someone you've communicated with previously. Good to chat to you is a friendly, casual way to follow up your earlier conversation. As discussed is a standard way to refer to what was said in an earlier conversation. Could I ask you to, and would you mind, are both polite, conversational ways of requesting something. Remember to point out that you have attached something. Thanks is used at the end of almost every email. All the best is a relaxed, friendly, and polite way to close your email. Sign off by putting your name as well as your electronic signature. A brief personal message can sometimes be a useful inclusion as long as it doesn't distract from the substance of the message. Thanks for watching, and remember, any questions please ask me in the conversation forum, and remember to download the PDF files that accompany each of these lessons.